Buong Bohol po is kilala po sa mga tourist destination tulad po ng Chocolate Hills, white beaches, at yung mga man-made forest po. Dito po ay meron na po tayong international airport po.
Batay sa tala ng Bohol Planning and Development Office ay umabot sa mahigit sa 1 milyon ang dumayo rito noong nakaraang taon. Mahigit sa 300,000 rito ay galing sa ibang bansa. Isa sa mga dayuhang humanga sa ganda ng Bohol ay ang Australianong si Mark.
Beautiful beaches, beautiful people. It wasn't even a thought for another country to come here. Like in Panglao, there's a lot of foreigners on a loaner and that.
Maituturing na technical person si Mark at may kabatiran sa larangan ng konstruksyon.
Coming from a construction background, because I was like a teacher in construction. I started off in construction in the mid-80s in Australia, and I worked for a council, which is like a local barangay. So my job there, laying pipes, doing concreting, reading plans, reading the level, and I'd done that for 10 years. Then I went into teaching for 20 years, so I actually taught what I knew to new people coming into the industry.
Ang mga gusaling sambahan ng Iglesia ni Cristo ang nagbigay daan upang magkaroon siya ng kaalaman sa relihiyong ito.
When I come to the Philippines, that's when I got the real essence of what Iglesia ni Cristo is about building places of worship. That's where I really got the grasp, and it was like, wow. Wow, they're building so many churches, and you just go past the because I travelled the whole Philippines in a van. I saw so much construction. I go past, another English places of worship. Wow! So that was my reaction to it.
Nakapukaw din sa kanya ng atensyon ang architectural design ng mga edipisyo ng iglesia.
I was pretty amazed because it's even my country, you don't see places of worship getting built. And then I read the Pasugo and I look online and I'm thinking, Iglesia ni Cristo, they build plenty places of worship. And I think that's different because, I mean, I can understand building office blocks and residential buildings, but places of worship, it's something that doesn't really happen. But it's different with Iglesia. The biggest thing that I found and the awe factor was how they all are so alike. They're all identical to each other. Now, usually if someone's going to build a places of worship, it's just going to have this and that and what have you, but Iglesia, you go past Iglesia, you don't have to look at the sign. You know it's Iglesia ni Cristo. Amazed at the architecture of Iglesia and how well pristine and how well it's kept, the surroundings, the gardens, the path. That's the feedback I get from non-members. How pristine it is and how beautiful the churches are.
Nakita niya ng aktwal ang itinatayong malaking gusaling sambahan ng iglesia sa Panglao, Bohol.
Gusaling sambahan na itinatayo para dito sa lokal ng Panglao. 21.85 meters by 45.47 meters. Ang capacity po ng main nave ay 330. Sa balcony po, 468. Sa koro, 73 na mga awit ang capacity. Tapos sa tribuna po, 7. So sa kabuuan, 878 po ang seating capacity. Sa ngayon po, ito ang pinakamalaking gusaling sambahan na itinatayo para dito sa distrito ng Bohol. Bahagi po ng safety features po ng gusaling sambahan ay mayroon po itong lightning arrestor po.
Nasa 45% na ang status ng proyektong ito. Hindi lamang ang disenyo ng gusaling sambahan ang napansin ni Mark, kundi ang tuloy-tuloy at mabilis na paggawa nito.
It's amazing, this one, because I have to sometimes go to the city for shopping when I can't do the shopping here. And I drive past this probably 3 or 4 times a week. And every time I drive past, the construction continues and is progressing. And what I see progression is it's coming higher. So when I see something going higher, that's progression. I know that things are moving. Even though I'm not involved with it, I'm proud when I go past it. I feel proud.
Minarapat po ng Opisina Sentral o ng ating Engineering and Construction Department na halos lahat, maliban sa aggregates at semento, sa ating fabrication po nang gagaling. Nasisiguro po natin na matibay yung ating itinatayong gusali kapag yung ating pong standard ang nasusunod. Bagamat above standard ito sa mga local construction dito po sa Panglao o dito sa probinsya ng Bohol, mas lalo nating masiguro na yung kalidad o yung quality ng ating itinatayong gusaling sambahan ay mataas po ang uri.
Kapanapanabik na makita dito sa Panglao ang ganitong disenyo ng malaki at modernong gusaling sambahan ng Iglesia ni Cristo.
Lalo pong dumadami yung mga turista na pumupunta dito, kahit anong lahi po na halos dito pumupunta. Then marami pong ibang bansa na mga kapatid na sumasamba po dito po sa lokal na Panglao.
It hits you out here. When it hits there and there, you know you're emotionalized something. So I'm proud when I see this.
Sinasampalatayanan po namin ng gusaling sambahang itinatayo sa dakong ito ay maghahayag po ng karangalan ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa lalo pong kaluwalhatian ng Panginoong Diyos.
Mula rito sa Panglao, Bohol, ako po si Richard Don Diego para sa Pundasyon Update.